Good day, everybody. Today we're going to have a paper review for the Project Management and Data Warehouse Implementations, a literature review. Of course, I am Asmir LNG, together with my partner Junjun Sakiran. So we have the content of the presentation. Who has have done the work? What were their goals or objectives? What were their research question if any? What were their method in terms of but not limited to? What were their findings? And the last one, what were the gaps and their status? So who has have done the work? The author of this research paper is Petar Bogojevic. He is a master degree project management, Faculty of Organizational Sciences, University of Belgrade, Serbia. He is also a bachelor degree of science management from Faculty of Organizational Sciences, University of Belgrade, Serbia from 2011-2016. He's currently pursuing PhD degree in management at the Faculty of Organizational Sciences, University of Belgrade, Serbia. His research focuses on methodology, aspects of project management and development process, enhancement. He currently works at the Saga DOH New Frontier Group as a project manager. His projects are in the field of software development, more on specifically the data warehousing, implementation, and custom software products. So what is the goals and their objectives? So of course, how to achieve the data warehousing flexibility and scalability. Flexibility and scalability of data warehouse is mentioned in the several studies as one of the main goals when implementing a data warehouse. It is clear from the results that applying the right development approach plays as a crucial role in achieving these goals, and several techniques are evaluated. For example, in S30, however, the discovered studies do not provide practical advice on how to achieve this and what techniques should be used. A comparative analysis of several most used development approaches may be beneficial to the project manager. In addition, research on the topic of data warehouse flexibility and scalability success factors may also be of interest. So, what were the research questions, if any? So we have two categories on the questions of the author, or on the researcher. First, the primary questions, and then second one is the secondary questions. So there are two under primary section or primary question. What methodology, practice, tools, and techniques, capability, profile, and development practices are covered in the discovery literature? Number two, how are findings from the discovered literature mapped to the project management knowledge areas, or PMKAS, from the project management book of knowledge guided into the data warehouse stage? Then we have the secondary questions. Under this category, we have four questions. First one, does the discovered literature address the most common risks and challenges in data warehouse implementation? Number two, to what extent are the project managers presented as the primary readership of the discovered literature? Number three, to what extent does the current literature provide empirical evidence? And then the last one, what is the structure of the identified literature, like publication type, journal article, or conference proceedings, classification of the literature by paper type, and the age of the literature. So those are the questions of this research paper. What were their method in terms of but not limited to? So under this, we have several questions. The first one, how have they gathered the relevant data? So the search results from the individual sources were gathered in a single Excel document and analyzed further. The initial research from database results resulted in 1,236 hits. After duplicate titles were removed, the initial search totaled 1,145 unique status. Following the status selection process, 33 status were retained for detailed assessment. Throughout this paper, these status are referenced from S1 to S33. Appendix A contains the full bibliographic citation for the selected status, the number of search hits based on their database, source, and exclusion criteria applied. Under the same question, we have another questions under the same question, right? So what were the tools or techniques used in the data gathering? So for this study, the review method is based on a common proposal for the conduct of systematic literature, views, and information system research, and in the software engineering domain. So first, we have the planning, right? And then from planning, proceed to the conducting, and then the reporting. So under planning, we have the research. Under planning, we have the research questions, and under conducting, we have the research processes, status selection, data extraction, and then the last one is data synthesis and interpretation. And then from reporting, we have the findings, we have the discussion, limitations, proposal, agenda for future research, and we have the conclusion. So under findings, we have the presentation of results. Under discussion, we have the answer to the research question. And then the limitation, we have threats to validity. And then the proposal agenda for future research, we have the research agenda based on literature findings. And then the final one is the conclusion, we have the implementation. So the same question also, how do they form the data set? So first, the online database were used as a source of gathering literature material. In the process of selecting the online database, the aim was to cover the most relevant journal and conference proceeding in the field of PM or project management and data warehouse, and hence the materials that would contribute the most to this study. Online database like ACM Digital Library, IEEE Explorer, Sage Publication, Science Direct, Elsevier, and then the last one is Emerald Insight. And then we have two major abstract and citation index database, Scopus and Web of Science. All of the above online database are suitable for systematic literature review type research science, since they provide option to search via keywords, export and manipulate the search data. The same question, how do they clean the data? The first step in the online database selection was to create a list of the most relevant journal from the field of data warehouse and project management, as these were viewed as the best places to look for literature that is suitable for this study. As a starting reference point for project management journals, a list found in 64 was used. Journals were then filtered by journal type. Additionally, project management journal that covered the field of software development. Information system and decision support system were also selected due to their relevance. Selected journal will then check and confirm for their publishers and abstract citation. Index database Scopus and Web of the Sciences. Then the last one, how do they process the data? So a list of data warehouse journals found in Online 65 was used as a starting reference point, similar to the method of project management journal. Data warehouse journal were manually checked for their publisher and inclusion in the abstract and citation index database. Then, what were their findings? So, this study are focused on the application of Agile and data warehouse project, first based upon the grounded theory approach. Batra conducted interviews with data warehousing practitioners and investigated their experience with data warehouse development and the use of agile values and principles in their project. The studies identified 8 categories and addition subcategories which Barta then converted into a proposed research framework. Project management was identified as one of the key categories in the study. Contracting, scope, management, expectation management, and documentation were also identified as a project management subcategories. One of the study's main conclusion was the proposal to harmonize the use of agile practices with project management in order to achieve business value, business value through data warehouse. Additionally, study respondents stated that in large data warehouse project management is a key factor that can also be used and mitigate the risk of agile development. These findings can be a special interest to project manager when considering how to integrate agile into their project management. So, the next question or the content of this research is what were the gaps, or the paper review is what were the gaps in their studies. So this findings is in the line with the statement that no previous systematic reviews of the project management field in the context of data warehouse have been conducted. The second one, there is no mention of project management in this study as well. The only mention of project management that was discovered in a literature review type of a study was found in section 7, which is reviewed in this literature review. Regardless, section 7 focuses on data warehouse success factors, whereas this study is focused on the project management in data warehouse. Thank you for watching my video. Good day and